Podcasting from somewhere in the San Francisco Bay Area, the birthplace of Bruce Lee, the iPhone, and the bendy straw. This is Ruel's Running Podcast, a podcast about running, health, family, play, and an NSNG lifestyle. And now, here's your host, Ruel.
There was a dream a million miles away. There was fire in
Amazon.com. You know, I won't be surprised if more and more stuff that I shop for, buy, and get shipped to my home comes from Amazon. It's just a reality, right? And if this is your reality, go to ruelsrunning.com, click through to the Amazon banner to get to Amazon. Why am I asking you to do so? Well, it is a no-cost-to-you way. If you like listening to Ruel's Running Podcast, it is a way that you can help the show out without spending more than you've already spent while shopping at the good folks at Amazon.com. So help us out. Go to ruelsrunning.com, click through to the Amazon.com site, and shop, connect, and enjoy. Hello everybody, it's me, it's Ruel. Welcome to Ruel's Running Podcast. I'm amidst a commute. It's a good, beautiful morning here in Northern California. I'm slowly crawling on my way to my day job. Yes, let me hold the mic this way. Anyways, probably sounds better this way. I'm learning. I'm still learning. It's been over a year of messing around with podcasts, and it's rarely consistent. so yeah, how is everybody doing? If you are a new listener, welcome. Hope you stick around. Hope you enjoy the silliness. If you are a return listener, bless you, bless your heart. Oh my gosh, you are awesome. If you are looking to get something valuable from a podcast, I encourage you to subscribe to others. But if you need a break from all the seriousness and all the science and all of the expert advice and expert this and that, this is a good break, I think. I mean, think of it like, that moment when you need to go to the bathroom and sort of just relieve yourself. Think of this podcast as exactly that. Just one big, swift... Anyways, didn't mean to step it up step up the class rating of this podcast by doing that, but what can I do? So it's... want to start off from bathroom chat to shout-outs. How's that? I meant to do it last episode, but I'm going to do it here because I had a brain fart, speaking of farts. But anyways, I want to give a shout-out. Twitter follower. I want to say, what's up, Sean J? Sean J just followed this silliness on Twitter. And Sean's awesome. He's lost 34 pounds in 3 months. That's Sean J. I'm not using his full name because I didn't have permission, but yeah, awesome, Sean. Thanks for sticking around on Twitter, and I hope you find this madness and make it a part of your day or month or year. Yeah, cool. Awesome, Sean. And I also want to give a shout out to our good friend, Yarn Sniper. Oh, yeah. She, Yarn Sniper, had a new baby. And I just want to give out a shout out and congratulations to Yarn Sniper. Lita. We'll call her Lita. Lita, because Lita's her name. And a happy belated birthday to baby Eva. Hope it's okay. I told you I was going to give you a shout out, and there you go. Shout outs. Yay! Congratulations! Having babies is a fun experience. I've been blessed to have 3 kids of my own, not through me, but with most of the work happening from my wife, and I just try and help as much as I can with it, So yeah, kids are awesome. Yeah, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just really a handful, and makes you want to just pull your hair out and have a drink. That's an image. Have no hair, drinking, what else? And high blood pressure, kids running rampant around the house, causing messes. Yeah, that's gonna last for a long time. But I'm really talking about me. Yep, those are shout-outs, and shout-outs to the rest of the world for just being awesome. Without you, I would have no place to live. Hey, speaking of living and places to live, more like off the grid, I just borrowed that term from somebody off of the No Sugar No Grains, the Vinnie Tordrich No Sugar No Grains Facebook group, which I spend a lot of time on or at, the community there that's following Vinnie Tordrich's No Sugar No Grains lifestyle, looking for ways to lose weight, get better health, and just have a whole lot of fun. Check out that Facebook group. Look for it on Facebook. It's a big group, so make sure when you knock on the door and you're let in, just be sure to just sort of scrub your boots on the door at the doormat, get all the debris and yuck that you may have stepped on, and be prepared to be overwhelmed and lost. No, just kidding. Just check it out. I do my little part there to be a part of the community and help spread the good message of No Sugar No Grains for health and all that good stuff. Yeah. Anyways, borrow the phrase "off the grid," which is not original, but somebody in the Facebook group used it as a way to describe having basically fallen off the wagon or the train of eating clean or clean within the NSNG lifestyle, and so that basically means things containing sugars or sweeteners or grains. So I do, and I talk about it in the past, that I do allow some rice in my diet, and everybody's different. You have to see what works for you, but the base of the lifestyle is, no sweeteners, no grains, right? Then from there, you figure out where you need to go. Do you need to be more strict to meet your health goals, your weight loss goals? Do you need to cut dairy out, or eggs, or nightshades, or maybe those things are fine. Maybe you need to allow certain things back on and still be able to meet your goals and whatnot. Yeah, but NSNG is a great way to just eliminate a lot of the garbage that's processed in food out there and made as processed foods and edible items. At any rate, so someone said they're off the grid, and I realized, I've been off the grid time and time again. I'm able to, weight-wise, still stay within my goal range, and fitting-wise, as far as how I fit my clothes, I'm still able to maintain that. But when I go off the grid and consume things that aren't going to be, when I consume things that have like grains outside of my allowable white rice, things like corn, tortilla chips, and a bun on a burger, and that doesn't happen a lot, but I recently had, in quotes, gone off the grid, and F it, I'm just gonna have this bun, right? And it was a bun from a burger that came from In-N-Out, and I just said F it. I was driving and I wanted to just eat what I ordered, and I made the mistake of not ordering it protein style, where it comes with a lettuce wrap. But I was driving, and I didn't want to fuss with peeling the bread, and so I was like, F it, it's not going to kill me. I ordinarily don't have any bread or bun, so, let's just see how it goes, and just enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy it, and the memory of enjoying old foods. And, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because, it was that classic burger, right, with a bun. And stuff that I enjoyed many, many times in the past. But the bread wasn't as familiar, so that I was taking in the texture and the sweetness, because it's sweet. It's processed flour, and it probably has a little bit of sugar in there too. I don't know, and other weird things, but I just appreciated it and enjoyed it. Not saying that it's the healthiest option, that bun, but I just did it. So there I was, off the grid, had a burger. Okay. What was the result of having eaten that? Well, the next day, I had a bunch of gas. And I can only attribute that to the bun, because I've had everything else, and nothing else has really changed. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I'll just, my gut's kind of dealing with that bun, and it's causing a bunch of gas, and I'm having to toot and trumpet my way to parts of the day, whatever. Nothing nasty, nothing like horrid smelling, like death had died in my bottom end. It was trying to send smoke signals to others. No, it's just noise, Not a lot of noise, just a little like a release. This is the fart episode. Yeah, but getting off the grid didn't stop there, to be honest, right? Then the following day, I went to a Chipotle, had a bowl. If you're familiar with Chipotle and you have a bowl, it's basically you're not having the burrito with the tortilla wrap, the flour tortilla wrap. You're just having a salad bowl with the burrito fillings over it. And typically what I get is the bowl. I don't eat the bowl, but I say I want a bowl. They'll ask me if I want any rice, and oddly enough, I don't opt for the rice over at Chipotle, even though I'll have like some good clean steamed rice that I have at home. But I don't, they season it up, they cook it up however way. I don't know what's in it, so I just no rice. I do opt for the grilled fajita veggies, the peppers and the onions. I'm okay with that, and I'll get a meat. I like the carnitas, and hopefully the seasoning isn't too nasty. Hopefully it's just primarily salt and pepper, but I do like the fattiness of it. So I get the carnitas, the pork. Then I'll get the hot salsa. Then I'll get the chunky tomato salsa, sour cream, the shredded cheese. Cheese, it's probably not the best cheese, but I go for that cheese. The guacamole, a ton of the lettuce, just to round out the bowl pretty good. And that's pretty much it. Veggies, meat, cheese, cream, lettuce, guacamole. Awesome. And then I did for old time's sake, why don't I just get a bag of tortilla chips? I'm like, let's see how it goes. Just like I did with the bun. Let's just see how it goes. I wasn't driving this time, so I could have just, I can't use driving as an excuse to go off the grid. But so I had the bowl, delicious, and I snacked on some chips and I didn't call it a day, but was done with it, and just went on the rest of the day. So what was the result for me? Right. Following day, I had noticed kind of like a diarrhea. Boy, this episode, I apologize if you're a new listener, hope you don't mind, but had a little bit of that, not like a whole bunch of, like a serious, severe, but, notice that there's a chart in my wife's functional medicine doctor's office, and you can find it online. It's the stool chart. There's like different levels or stages or categories of poop consistency. But yeah, so I was on that scale, and it was a bit on the wet side. The wet side. So yeah, and so what else did I just, that's not a big deal because, the consistency there can shift in a lot, right? Your gut will change a lot. But, it was clear to me that, these things that I had been eating that I normally don't eat had made a difference. Not in a great way. But, so just need some time for my body to get back to normal. And but it was, and it wasn't normal. And the other things that were off were body aches. So, I associate that with, I guess inflammation due to consuming like the tortilla chips and the wheat and the bread on the bun from the previous day. So, yeah, I can't. My own experiment, and others have experienced similar things, having consumed these things, and again, I don't eat a burger bun and tortilla chips that often, so I can take breaks, reintroduce them, and then clearly get these sort of symptoms back again, these sort of ailments, if you will. The kind of aches that I experienced were primarily lower back pains. So I've had a history of back pain and injury. So, I've been free of it for a while, and but it's come back, not severely, but enough for me to notice. And I attribute that again to just the poor choices and things that I've allowed to consume. So yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm not here to say, hey, I eat pure and clean and pristine, and this is how awesome I make myself be. No, I do a lot of stupid stuff, and I just try to serve as an example of how one can be stupid and suffer. I think. So yeah, I think ordinarily without the junk in my body, there wouldn't be that sort of inflammation, the joint pain, the arthritis, if you will, right? I experienced most of it on my back, and why my back? I had been doing a lot of lifting lately, not going to the gym and doing a CrossFit WOD or anything like that, or not doing American Ninja Warrior type stuff, just it was the 4th of July weekend, and I spent a lot of time out with the family, away from the office. And my daughter, she's making me work, man. We went to the county fair the other day, and she didn't want to sit in the stroller. So, I had to carry her most of the way. And it's one thing if you're carrying a toddler who's still, but if you have a toddler who just can't keep still, then that's a lot of shifting and dynamic adjusting and movements to sort of keep everything steady and balanced and upright. So I think that made my back workout pretty good. I think which is great. I need that exercise. That's good resistance, that's good activity. But yeah, felt the post activity pain, mainly because I was inflamed in those areas thanks to these foods. That's what I think. Maybe you felt the same, but yeah, there's a thing to it, definitely.
Coming up, Rue gives us something else to think about. How vague is that, Ruel? Geez. Could you be any vaguer, Ruel? Well, it's all coming up on Ruel's Running.
Hi, this is Vinny Tortorich from the Celebrity Fitness Trainer podcast, and Ruel asked me to come on and tell you guys all about my product, my new product at PureVitaminClub.com. We now have Pure Magnesium. It is a broad spectrum magnesium. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself. What does broad spectrum mean? Well, look, if you go in the grocery store, you can buy the cheap stuff that usually only has carbonate or citrate. Usually one of the two, because those are the cheaper forms of it. But you know what? Those forms are good, especially when you add carbonate and glycinate and taurate. Oh, did I say that wrong? No, I didn't. And then citrate. You add those four together, and you have a broad spectrum magnesium. It's a more well-rounded magnesium. And guess what? We put nothing else in it, folks. That's it. That's it. No byproducts, no fillers, no sand, no nothing. Just what you want. PureVitaminClub.com. Go check out the broad spectrum magnesium. I think you will love it. Once again, I'm Vinny Tortorich, and check us out.
Thank you, Vinny. Friends, you can get your supply of Pure Vitamin Club's daily multicap or broad spectrum magnesium. Go to ruelsrunning.com/vitamins. I'll link to it on the show notes and get your supply today. Regarding gross things, remember last episode I talked about blood and puke and gross bodily messes and cleanup, and because my daughter had puked in her bed, and God, this is a really gross episode, isn't it? And my son had had bloodied his nose from probably dry air and heat. And I had talked about having to do the cleanup and talked about a couple products, the OxyClean and the Totally Toddler. So our good friend Lonnie, Lonnie Beecham from Restore It Restoration at Jefferson City, Missouri, and a friend of the podcast, and he's been on numerous times, and I hope to get him back on. And yeah, I know he's like, anytime, dude. And but I just get my crap together, dude. Lonnie. Anyways, yeah, he says, what did he say? Lonnie, what did you say regarding the cleaning up of blood and whatnot and messes? You said a 97-cent bottle of hydrogen peroxide works great on blood, urine, and poop. Just saying. So I just got schooled by the pro, And actually, Lonnie, I went back and looked at the bottle of OxyClean, and yeah, hydrogen peroxide is one of the ingredients in that product. But yeah, so there you go, guys. But I wondered whether or not it was color fast safe. Is that the phrase? But yeah, Lonnie's a pro in his business, so he said that he uses like the commercial grade, the higher percentage hydrogen peroxide that you can't get off, from your regular store. You gotta be like authorized or licensed, and and all of that professional stuff to be able to handle the higher, the non-diluted level of hydrogen peroxide. Can you imagine? Back when I was in high school, we used to bleach our hair with hydrogen peroxide. Can you imagine how quickly you'd be able to bleach your hair with the commercial grade hydrogen peroxide that Lonnie can access? Or maybe you just lose your hair entirely because it's just too crazy. Anyways, that's that. Let's see. What do we have here? I'll have to flip this back on. Speaking of the NSNG Facebook group, the Vinny Tortorich's No Sugar No Grains Facebook group. Someone in the group had asked, how do you know when you're fat adapted? And I'm not an expert. I'm going through my own journey with it. I've been on NSNG for I don't know, I guess 4 years now. And I've evolved from being a high carb guy and to a lower carb guy and a higher fat guy, whatever you want to call it, and experimented with being in ketosis and not in ketosis, and being able to do my runs without any fuel on hand and all that good stuff, right? So what was it? It was a member named Kristen. I'm not going to give a full name. How do you know when you're fat adapted? And what was the question? Oh, that was the question. Duh. So my response was literally this: when you don't feel the desire to eat and snack consistently through the day, when healthy fat is a good part of what you've been eating, and you learn you won't die without high sugars and high grains. Also, energy level is level or heightened on healthy fats. Eventually, you'll learn to eat for your energy needs, and hopefully burn both the consumed fats and your stored fats. So maybe you will shed some body fat as well. Maybe. And that was that. So hope that information helped her and others in the group. And hopefully it's something that you guys can confirm or deny or debate. But that's what I found to be my experience. It's funny because I'll be with family members and relatives, and even just coworkers. They're not on this sort of lower carb route or higher fat route. What it means is, when you're NSNG and low carb high fat, is that you're able to have a level, steady energy source, level, consistent blood sugars or lower blood sugars, no spikes and dips, which I believe what tie into cravings or the feeling of hunger or ravenous hunger, right? So that's where folks who are on a lower carb, high fat NSNG sort of way of eating and living is they may not be hungry when they get up in the morning. They may work through the lunch hour and not be hungry. They'll essentially accidentally fall into some sort of intermittent fast. You never know, right? Or that's what I've experienced, at least. Find myself having most of my calories between 4 and 10 or 6 and 10, and the other days I'm just sort of trickling some coffee or not, right? So I live with folks and work with folks, and I have family members who aren't on that path, and you go through the day side by side with somebody who isn't, and you can see your former self. It's like, ooh, I didn't eat breakfast. I'm gonna eat something for breakfast. Ooh, I want to snack on something. Ooh, Meanwhile, I'm just watching. And they want to know, what do you want to have for lunch? Where should we go for lunch? I'm hungry. And I'm like, what are you talking? And my mind's like, I'm not hungry. I'm not thinking about finding a place to eat. I'm suddenly feeling like, great, I'm gonna have to spend money going out to eat lunch when I'm not hungry? That doesn't make no sense, right? So it's also a way when you are on an NSNG, low carb, high fat sort of protocol or diet or whatever you want to call it, lifestyle. It may even save you some money because you're not out looking for that next meal when you are out working or out and about with others, because I mean, really, most of the time I could just trickle some coffee with a little bit of heavy cream just to have a little bit of calories, because I'm not going to eat till later in the day. So I'm not spending anything for lunch, which is, these days, if you go somewhere, you're easily spending like if you're lucky, at least $10 for something, right? And if you can find something under $10 that's good, then you're just eating crap, right? I mean, I can go to like a Sprouts, right? Get something wholesome. I don't know. I mean, something that's like just some raw almonds, some olives from the olive bar, right? Maybe a little thing of cold cuts, right? It's gonna blow past $10, easy. But it's good stuff. Good stuff. So I don't know. So this is a gross episode, but it also kind of tie into like some of the NSNG stuff. I don't get to talk about the NSNG stuff a lot because, like I said, it's been like 4 years, and it's just ingrained in stuff that I do, and when you do it so often and it's so ingrained, you sort of don't talk about it as much, right? Because it's not as exciting as it used to be. It's not as novel as it used to be. It's not, that thing that you want to go out on top of the mountain and scream, "Oh my God!" about, because it's now become a part of you. It's who I am. It's, yeah. Awesome. Oh, as I mentioned, I want to talk about food, meal prep. I like to talk about some meal prep related stuff that I've done lately to share for folks who are on the early stages of their no sugar, no grains journey, or something like that, or just like food that want to know what other folks are eating and what they're cooking, and I like to share that as well. So a couple of recipes. I talked about it before, and I've shared it before in a previous episode, but I worked on it recently again, and it is the low carb shepherd's pie with cauliflower mash, and that you can get at annavocino.com. She has a recipe box. You just kind of go to the annavocino.com and you scroll over to the right, or you pan over to the right and down, and you look for the link that says recipes or something like that. I'll also link directly to her page for that recipe on the show notes here. But I didn't make the cauliflower mash for this time around. I made just the everything else, which is basically the meat portion, and it's delicious. And there's nothing wrong with the cauliflower mash, because the cauliflower mash is awesome. You wouldn't even know that it's cauliflower because it's so smooth and delicious. Yeah, check it out. Just to talk about it here again, I mentioned the meat portion of that recipe is a combination of ground pork and ground beef and other things like carrots and mushrooms and things like that, and other seasonings. And the cauliflower mash, how I made it, it's the you mash the cauliflower, but you also there's the ways to do it. Like you boil the cauliflower and you pat dry. You take out as much of that moisture. And everything gets kind of blended really nice in a food processor, but I do it in my Vitamix blender. My Vitamix 5200. Douche. Let's see. And, you're putting in cream cheese in there and other goodness that, oh my God. It's better than mashed potatoes. Oh my God. And, it may seem like a lot of work, but when you actually go through it, like, oh, okay, that's all it was, Yeah, and so that was that. The other one was a butternut squash sweet potato mash. I did that. And yeah, that is a high carb, or can be a high carb, or a carb-filled dish, right? But, I didn't make it for me. So I made it, but I didn't make it for me. I made it for my wife. And, but it's, if you want something that has, if you're feeling like a butternut squash and you're feeling like a sweet potato, you want that, this is one option that you can go with. And it's basically you roasting the butternut squash and, the cubes of butternut squash in the oven, and also roasting the sweet potato, the halved sweet potatoes in the oven as well. The recipe says to coat them with coconut oil, and I do. I just take my hands and I rub coconut oil all over them, and I season it with salt and pepper. I roast them until they're all both done, and I'll peel the sweet potatoes, and I'll take the sweet potatoes and mash it together with the butternut squash, salt and pepper, and what else did I add? I think I added a little bit of ghee, mashed it up, and that was it. I put a little bit of ghee. They were all mashed up, and then I put them in a casserole for the oven, and then I baked them some more, get it all heated up, cooking together instead of separate this time. And I'll share the recipe. It's awesome. She really liked it. So it went well with the meat portion of the shepherd's pie. So there you go. Wasn't what we originally wanted to do, but interest of time, with what I was able to make, it actually made a good pairing and meal for her. So yeah, I'll share that. Low-carb shepherd's pie with cauliflower mash, but without the cauliflower mash and the butternut squash sweet potato mash. Yep. You're wondering why the butternut squash and the potato mash I don't get into? Well, it's because the past few times that I've had butternut squash in a dish and even sweet potatoes in a dish, it just knocked me out. And so that means I can't handle it. But it's weird because I could handle, the not so good for you French fries from In-N-Out. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Even if I top a bunch of butter or cream or oils or some sort of fat with the butternut squash or the sweet potatoes, and I still get, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I just don't even mess with it anymore. I just don't like that feeling of being knocked out because of food. And, yeah, that's that. So, thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the website for the show notes, and check out all the other things that I have going on the website. It's a big old mess, but you'll make sense of it. I try to keep it as organized as possible. There's a resources page. I have yet to update it with new links. But if you like audiobooks, I have a list of stuff there that I've gone into and sort of base how I feel about things like health and nutrition and diet and running. What else? There's a gears page for some shirts and some trucker hats and stuff like that, if you're interested. There's a link to donate like $5 or something for a sticker, which I'll only, I'll gladly accept, but I'll only ship to within the U.S. Sadly, sorry. What else? I'm looking for as much help as I can with the podcast and keeping it rolling. So I've set up, things like that donate button, things like a Patreon page for folks who feel like they want to help out and support the show, keep it going, because there's a level of cost to keep the show running and moving and hosted and all that good stuff and available. If you shop on Amazon, don't go to Amazon first. Click through the Amazon banner on ruwellsrunning.com, and it will help out as well. What else? Check out our affiliate, purevitaminclub.com. I have a banner on the website. You can also go to ruwellsrunning.com/vitamin or /vitamins. Either one will take you through the affiliate link to Pure Vitamin Club, and you can get some awesome supplements. The multicap and the broad spectrum magnesium, both are great and affordable and pure and awesome. Yeah, and if My website is hosted on Bluehost, and if you're looking for a good website, I've made that recommendation to friends and who have also taken my recommendation. They've gone to Bluehost. They have awesome support, and they're who I use. I dig them, and I make the recommendation. I do have an affiliate, so go to ruelsrunning.com and click on the Bluehost banner on the right. It will help out as well. And that's enough of that stuff. Be sure to check out more episodes on the website, and connect on iTunes or Google Play Music, as a Google Play Music. Have a great day. Eat something delicious. Hug your family. Go out and run something. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Ruel's Running Podcast with Ruel. If you like what you just heard, share it with your friends and your enemies. Also, be sure to check out the site over at ruelsrunning.com. This has been another Coffee with Heavy Cream production. Join us next time for another silly show of Ruel's Running Podcast.